So, welcome back, friends. Wall Street about to commence trading in about 2 hours' time. It's a new month, April. It's a new quarter, and Wall Street is feeling good with the winning start to the year. S&P 500 popped 10.2 percentage, marking its best first quarter since 2019. While the Dow Jones Industrial Average had its best quarter since 2021, perking up 5.6 percentage, and we have the Nasdaq jumping 9.1 percentage. That's pretty good. So to start the week, investors will be watching to see how the markets react to the latest inflation data that was released on Good Friday while the markets were closed. And there are more economic data to be released this week, culminating with the keynote, the March jobs report on Friday. Now, inflation rose in line with expectations in February, according to the Fed's favorite inflation measure. And this was pointed out by Jeremy Powell as his comment. The Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, or PCE as it is commonly called, excluding food and energy, rose 2.8 percentage on a 12-month basis. And it was up 0.3 percentage from a month earlier, matching the estimates of Dow Jones. The core PCE was up 0.3 percentage for the month and 2.5 percentage at the 12-month annualized rate, compared with estimates for 0.4 percentage and 2.5 percentage. All this is broadly in line with expectations, and that likely means that the US Federal Reserve will stay with its holding pattern at its next meeting in May before it starts considering interest rate cuts. The central bank targets inflation target of 2%, but the core PCE inflation hasn't hit that level in 3 years. Yet hope remains. The price of gold has hit a new record high on Monday, the first trading day and the first day of the quarter, in tune with the latest PCE inflation data. While the Fed is expected to stay with its current rates in May, investors are probably beginning to factor in an interest rate cut in the month of June. Lower interest rates, as you know, reduce the opportunity cost of holding precious metals like bullion, and spot gold hit an all-time high of $2,262.19 earlier in the session before pulling back a bit, while the US gold futures climbed 1.7 percentage to $2,275.60. So all this that should be good news. But if you look at the futures were sharply higher after when on Sunday evening you saw the futures data being released. Right now also all the Dow, S&P and the Nasdaq are all sharply in the green, but I believe that we could have a slightly a tentative, and there could be a few falls in the morning session up to about 1 o'clock Eastern time before the market begins to recognize the greatness of the PCE data, which rolled in on Good Friday when the market was closed. So the factoring of the good data may take a little while. Morning session could be a little lackluster, and there is some possibility of there being some amount of a couple of falls also coming in that session. But the later we go in the session, this recognition could take place, and we could be back to the smoother ways. Now, to get to know more how this rest of the week will span out, how the jobs report, because that's another very, very important piece of data that the Federal Reserve takes into consideration, and that's coming on Friday. So all that, to know all that, you can join the Prime or Prime Plus Telegram groups, which are addressed for the US markets, those investing in the Dow, S&P, Nasdaq. And for the Indian markets, you can join the premium value, which has 1 week predictions in advance, or you can also join the Holi special package, which is concluding today. That's the last day of the Holi package. It gives you daily predictions and also some very good stock recommendations. You can do that by WhatsApping us on 982-086-1044. Happy investing and have a great investing day. Take care. Bye-bye.